More on gay movies on Netflix Part 2. Number 1. Single All the Way. Michael Urie, Philemon Chambers, Hocus Pocus Kathy Najimy, and LGBTQ icon Jennifer Coolidge, fresh off her best performance ever in The White Lotus, star in Netflix's exclusive high-profile rom-com about gay best friends who discover feelings over the holiday season, as one poses as the other's boyfriend. It's hardly an unfamiliar plot. There's some common ground with 2020's runaway streaming hit Happiest Season. But with a cast this great, Single All the Way delivers. This is Netflix's first ever queer rom-com. 2. I Care a Lot. Rosamund Pike won a Golden Globe for a ripper of a performance in Jay Blakeson's comic thriller about a sketchy con artist who becomes entangled with gangsters and drags her girlfriend into the mess while she's at it. Factor in Pike's Oscar nod for Gone Girl in 2015, and this former Bond girl has enjoyed quite the fruitful career since appearing in the storied franchise. 3. Olimpo. Olimpo is a 2025 Spanish teen drama series created and written by Jan Matthew, Leia Forget, and Abai Abad for Netflix. The show is set at the Perineos Center of High Performance, a fictional elite training school which hosts the most promising young athletes in the country, and focuses on their interpersonal relationships as they compete to win prestigious and lucrative sponsorship deals with global fashion brand Olimpo and strive to prove themselves as the best in their chosen sports. The first season premiered on June 20th, 2025 on Netflix. One sweet thing about Olimpo is that the gay lovers in the series had a happy ending. Episode 1 of the series started with Zoe, who is scouted to attend the Perineos Center of High Performance and reluctantly agrees to join their heptathlon team. She meets Nuria, an artistic swimmer recovering from a shoulder injury, who gives her a tour of the facility and introduces her to her best friend and duet partner Amaya and their wider friend group. Representatives from global fashion brand Olimpo arrive at the HPC to award lucrative scholarships to some of the athletes. Zoe struggles to adjust to her new environment and is teamed up with Renata, who doesn't acknowledge or talk to her at all. Amaya's mother, a failed former athlete, advises her to cut Nuria loose because she is holding her back and alleges that she lied about being injured to go on vacation. Nuria refuses to tell Amaya the truth, and Amaya begins auditioning some of the other swimmers to replace her. At rugby training, Christian almost gets injured and is informed by the coach that his performance is subpar and that he must leave the HPC. Hugo, one of the reps, secretly meets with Nuria, who warns that Amaya might be onto them. Zoe is granted one of the Olimpo sponsorships, earning their ire of the other athletes. Roque secretly hooks up with swimmer Diego, who doesn't want to make their relationship public. Amaya discovers that Peak has been doping, but agrees not to tell the coach. After Roque vents to Christian about his frustration regarding Diego, Christian posts a photo of Roque and Diego together. Zoe tries to leave the HPC, but is convinced to remain by Hugo. Nuria finds out about Amaya trying to replace her, and outperforms Amaya in front of the others. She then falls unconscious, and Zoe and Amaya jump into the pool to rescue her. Before I forget, let me point out that episode 1 of the series might seem boring at the beginning, but don't mind it. As you continue to watch, you will understand better. Also, it might seem that there's no gay characters in the series. Just ignore it and continue watching. You will be amazed at what you will see. The gay sex scenes are steamy and interesting. There were visuals. You will definitely see things, so I recommend you watch this series with your gay friend. It will be fun that way. 4. The Mitchells vs. the Machines. A breakout critical and commercial hit of the pandemic era, Michael Rionda's animated sci-fi comedy is about a road-tripping family who must defend each other and all of Earth from uprising technology. The Mitchells vs. the Machines was nominated for Best Animated Feature at the 94th Academy Awards. The film has been commended for the relatable, inspirational inclusion of LGBTQ character Katie, voice of Abby Jacobson. 5. Alisa and Marcela. Isabel Coixet's erotic historical drama is an account of Marcela Gracia Ibias and Alisa Sanchez Loriga, and the first same-sex marriage of Spain's modern era. A Spanish production in Spanish and Portuguese with subtitles, Alisa and Marcela was selected to compete for the Golden Bear at the 69th Berlin Film Festival and received a limited theatrical release via Netflix. 6. The Half of It. There's nothing quite like a young adult coming-of-age rom-com, and in the 2020s, that once very straight genre has started to get a lot more queer. In The Half of It, we get a modern retelling of Cyrano de Bergerac with a gay twist. When Paul, Daniel Diemer, the school jock, asks Ellie, Leah Lewis, the class nerd, to help him woo his crush Aster, Alex Lamir, by writing letters, Ellie quickly falls in love with Aster as well. Of course, Aster thinks that the letters are from Paul, and a juicy love triangle of mistaken identity begins. 7. Happy Ending. How do you tell your boyfriend of a year that he has yet to satisfy you sexually? That is the conundrum at the heart of the Dutch film Happy Ending, something the protagonist can't seem to reach. The romance at the film's center, however, is supplemented with plenty of good sex scenes. We've got straight sex, queer sex, and even a threesome. While body language is universal, you will need subtitles to know what's happening with the plot. 8. Duck Butter. Following his brilliant, underrated knockout black dramedy Beatriz at Dinner, Miguel Arteta helmed this experimental sex comedy about lesbian lovers, Alia Shawkat and Leia Costa, who meet at a club, then get to know each other via having sex every hour on the hour for a solid day. 9. A Secret Love. While it is certainly easier to be openly queer in America today despite ongoing discrimination, in years past, living as an out gay individual was so hard that many refused to do it. In this touching documentary from Chris Bolin, he tells the story of his aunts, a lesbian couple who kept their relationship a secret for almost 70 years. Terry Donahue, a professional baseball player, and her partner, Pat Henschel, finally got to share their epic love story with the world after decades of making sure no one knew they were together. 10. More the Merrier. If you ever thought to yourself, I'd love to watch an ensemble comedy like Love Actually or Valentine's Day where the entire thing was set in a Spanish sex club, then you're in luck. This Spanish comedy follows a number of people as they embark on various sexual adventures within Club Paradiso. Lots of nudity, lots of hooking up, lots of plot lines becoming air. Entangled. 11. Neimona. Based on the hit graphic novel by N.D. Stevenson, Neimona is a raucous adventure set in a magical kingdom that is somehow a mix of the Middle Ages and the future. When Ballister Boldheart, Riz Ahmed, is accused of murder on the eve of his being knighted, he is forced to team up with a shapeshifter named Neimona, Chloe Grace Moritz, in order to clear his name. The story is very queer and includes voice acting from RuPaul Charles and India Moore among other queer icons. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like and share this video.